Hey guys, Duane Richins here. It is finally warm enough I can get outside, catch a little bit of sun here in Utah, and talk about real estate with you guys. Now, if you want to get to where you want to be, you've got to do one important thing, and you've got to build a schedule. So let's talk about schedules. A couple books I want you to write down right now. You ready? 5 Things That Determine All of Life's Outcomes by Brett Hayward, and The One Thing by Gary Keller. Now, you've got to focus on one thing at a time. And oftentimes we wake up, we don't have a plan. We don't have a schedule, we don't know what we're doing, and therefore we don't accomplish all that we could accomplish as if we would have set a set schedule in and make it a habit. Make it something you do every day. Make it to where on Saturdays and Sundays, you wake up anyway, because that's what you're used to doing. Your body knows what to do. So let's talk about a schedule. What time should we wake up? What things should we do once we wake up? Now, you need a time block. So if you haven't done this, I would say draw a big circle, right? And I want you to put a pie-shaped marks all the way across it, and then go through and write in physical, emotional, work, faith. Write in all of the things that you need to put in that are going to be part of your daily life, and something you're going to have to focus on each day and spend time on that. So for me, I'm going to go through my schedule with you, okay? I get up at 6 a.m. every morning without fail. And at 6 a.m., my kids come down, and we have scripture study. So we read our scriptures until 6:30. I then go in and make my kids breakfast. And I make their lunches. And that'll all continue throughout the whole year like this. So from that time until about 7 o'clock, I'm working on that with the kids. Then from there, I want my kids to learn work ethic. So we have animals. I have 5 acres, and we have lambs that they have to bottle feed. And the reason I've done that is I want them to learn work ethic. They paid for the lambs themselves. They bottle feed these 4 lambs. And with the money they get out of the lambs, they then can buy a calf, and they're going to raise that and sell it. And so they're learning work ethic. Now, my son is 10 years old. My daughter's 8. And then I got 6, and they're out there working and learning how to do this. How do they get the money for the lambs? They save the money by selling chicken eggs. So that being said, from 7 to 7:30, we're out taking care of animals, doing chores. 7:30 until 7:45, I'm just making sure they're all ready for school. I drop them off at school. Then I come home and I have my own 30 minutes of personal study for the scriptures. Okay? So I dive in. I feel like I've fulfilled that box. Now I tell you, the days that I don't get in each of my boxes filled, I feel like I'm missing something. So you've really got to make sure you're dialing in and checking all the boxes. So at 7:45, I'm running them to school. I get back about 8:15. At that point, I'm going to check some quick emails to make sure haven't missed anything super important. And then it's workout time. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to spend an hour in my gym downstairs and work out. Okay. At that point, back upstairs, get showered, cleaned up for the day. It's about 10 o'clock at this point, and I am ready to work. Now, as you divide your work day up, there should already be a list of things that you're going to accomplish that day. They should already be written out, planned out from the night before, and you should be thinking about those as you move into the next day. So dive into the list, tackle the list. Mine's first going to be email. I'm going to go through all my emails. I'm going to check up with all of my clients that I currently have under contract and walk through my personal real estate business. Now, guys, I've spent the last 5 or 6 years just doing repeat and referral business. So I don't have to go out and prospect. It only took me 2 years of door knocking to build out a massive business that sells over $30 million a year. Now, that being said, I still have to nurture it and follow up. So that time is when I dive into my business, make sure that I'm taking care of the clients I currently have, giving them great service, making sure that they understand where they're at in the real estate process of the things we have under contract, the offers we've written, the homes they want to look at, and getting all those details back to them. After that point, then it's, okay, what's the next item? For me, it's thinking of what I can teach you guys here on YouTube to help maximize your business, to help you grow at an effective level. And then from that point on, I'm going to shoot a video or two. Then my day's pretty lax. And at that point, I've spent time with family. By 2:30, 3 o'clock, I am not doing much other than playing pickleball with my kids, going and doing different things, working in my yard. And by 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm winding down with family for dinner. My life's a little bit different, and I want you guys to get to that point where you can do this, okay? But it takes hard work and it takes time. So don't think just by getting into real estate, you're going to be able to have a business that's built to the point where it's going to feed you. It's not. So 80% of your workday should be contacting. You should be out knocking doors, doing what it takes to get in front of people. Now, I tell people the bare minimum what you should be getting in front of is 150. That's a bare minimum. And if I'm you, it should be 200 to 250 if you want to grow a business. And you should be spending plenty of time on it, okay? Get used to the grind until you have built a massive enough business that you can then wind down. So if you have not built everything out the way you want to build it out, if you've not taken the time to set a schedule. Now, this schedule, as you follow my Millionaire podcast, one of the things that I love that Gatlin says is you are never able to have negotiables. That schedule is unnegotiable. Phone calls that come in when you're prospecting, you don't answer. Your follow-up time's sacred. Your workout time's sacred. Because what happens when you get into your workout and you take a bunch of work calls, you stop, your heart rate goes down, and you're like, I'm just going to give up. When you're out door knocking and you receive a phone call from a client, says, hey, I want to go see this house. You stop. Guess what? Your mojo just went out the door. You just took 15 minutes from door knocking. Your mindset changes, and you're not going to door knock the way you was. So get out there and continue to door knock until you have so much business you can't handle it. Your follow-up's going to be after you get done knocking. Your follow-up's going to be in the morning. Your lead gen is sacred time. That's probably the most important thing that I could teach you guys is lead gen is sacred time in which you can't let anything come in the way of. Okay? Now, as you make this a habit each and every day, it will become easier. Now, the first couple days that you do this and you go, oh my gosh, I've got to follow this schedule and I've got to do this, it's hard. And it's going to take you 2 weeks to build a habit. But they say 10,000 hours of doing the same thing, you become a professional. So if you don't have 10,000 hours of door knocking, get out there and do it right now. You have got to take the time. Now, what I see with a lot of the clients that I coach that call me is this one thing. Duane and I went out and knocked for 20 or 30 minutes, and I didn't have any success. And it's like, you guys, you knocked for 20 minutes. Go knock for 6-8 hours. And then guess what? I'm going to be happy you knocked for that long, but guess what? I don't plan on you having success. It's okay. I want you to do 8 to 10 hours of door knocking for 3 weeks straight and tell me you don't have a deal, because you won't be able to. If you will put in the time getting in front of the people, hitting 200 contacts plus a week, you will find people no matter what your skill level's at. But you've got to schedule it. You've got to stick to it, even if it's hard. You know, the first thing about working out is when you dive into a workout schedule and you're out of shape, you want to quit in 10 minutes. You want to quit as fast as you can because it's uncomfortable. Schedules are uncomfortable. But if you want to have a lifestyle that you decide what you do when you want to do it and schedule in all the things that you want to do, you've got to do the things that are most uncomfortable first. Now that is prospecting. That is getting clients. That is building a business that feeds you. So take the time right now, and I want you to set 3 goals. From this phone call or from this YouTube video, I want you to get on and set 3 goals. Number 1, you're going to map out your day. All 24 hours, from the time you go to sleep to the time you wake up to what you're going to do in between, and schedule in their time to relax. Okay? My wife has a cutoff for me at 9 p.m. She wants my phone off because I tend to answer my phone way too much. So she loves the fact that I turn my phone off. Now, for me, all my phone calls typically go to my assistant. And so I don't field all of those calls during the day. However, Ashley then follows up with me later and I respond back. So that being said, my cutoff is 9 p.m. Not gonna make any more phone calls after that, not gonna address work, and I'm gonna wake up refreshed and ready to start the day and handle all those questions after 9 p.m. On Saturdays and Sundays, I don't work at all. I don't wanna answer my phone. If it can't be handled by somebody else, it's not going to get handled today. So know that. So set your parameters of what you wanna do. Build that schedule completely out. Number 2, after your schedule is built, make sure you're sticking to it, okay? Each and every day, there is not an excuse of why you're gonna deviate from that schedule. So take time, stick to the schedule, make sure that it's not you. It's this schedule, and you've gotta stick to it so you know how effective you're being when you're focused. And you will see the difference. Give it 2 weeks. That's step 3. Give it time. I want you to take 3 weeks to do this and do it exact, precise for 3 weeks. And then I want your comments on this post about how successful you've been and how fast you've picked up business. So that being said, the first person that does this and goes out and does the prospecting like I'm telling them to, I want you to post it. Hey, I picked up a listing today. Hey, I picked up a new buyer today. You guys, I know without a doubt, if you get out and work and do the contacts, you will find business. Your skill set will explode, and you've got to hold yourself accountable. So number 1, write it out. Number 2, follow it day by day. And number 3, make sure that you're doing it for 3 weeks. If you'll stick to that, 100% guarantee you, you will see success regardless of your skill level. And what my main objective is and why I know that we can help you get to a higher level is just then taking that work ethic and fine-tuning it so you don't have to work as hard to do the numbers. Appreciate you guys watching today. Hope you have a great day.